Hi everyone. In this video, we will talk about a way to reposition and reuse clip arts efficiently. Usually, T&Blue sellers face a case like this. A clip art which customer selects may replace the original layer in an inappropriate position or size. As an example, we have a default hair layer here, which is a mid-back style. When we choose another mid-back clip art, it will fit perfectly, because they have the same size. But if we click on this neck length clip art, we can see that the new clip art is too big compared to the body, and its position is wrong as well. This is because T&Blue will scale an alternative clip art to fit the size and position of the original layer. For this neck length clip art, the original size like this will be scaled up to fit the width of this mid-back. Makes it look bigger and inappropriate. Understanding the problem, T&Blue has provided a feature to resize and reposition clip arts. In Artwork Editor, we can click on this reposition button next to each clip art category. The first clip art showing of this category will replace the original layer. We can edit the size and position of this clip art to make sure they fit in an acceptable size. Other clip arts in this category will follow the same reposition setting after. Still, this reposition feature has some disadvantages. First, all clip arts within a category must have the same size and position. T&Blue doesn't allow to reposition each clip art in a category, because it's very time-consuming to adjust every clip arts whenever creating an artwork. But if a category has different clip arts, the reposition feature might not work as we want. For example, this neck length category includes two hairstyles. We can see that the head of this style is quite smaller than the second one. If we reposition, other styles within category will apply the same size and position of the first hairstyle clip art, which may be incorrect. So, we should make sure to categorize clip arts with the same size. In this example, the neck length category should be divided into two different categories, neck length 1 and neck length 2. The second disadvantage of reposition feature is that we have to reposition all over again whenever creating a new artwork. This could be a pain if we have many subcategories, such as this dog breed option. In here, we might have nearly 100 breeds, or even more. And we will need to reposition each category whenever creating an artwork for dogs. So it will surely consume a lot of time. Therefore, with all of these inconveniences, the reposition feature is only suitable for stores that are selling a few choices of clip arts, or are testing products. However, for stores having a great number of clip arts, and aiming to sell in a long term, we should resize and finalize all clip arts before uploading to T&Blue. In that way, we only need to do it one time, then we can reuse clip arts efficiently. It will also help us to skip the reposition step when creating new artworks later. In this video, we will see how to finalize clip arts in Photoshop. You can follow these same steps with other design softwares. Please be aware that this work will require lots of patience, but it will help us to save much more time later when creating artworks. This is an example of the file we will work on. If we want to reposition the hair clip arts, we need to add a body layer, then resize all hair clip arts in the relative position with this body. Then we will hide the body and export all hair clip arts, following this file size. You can download this file as a template for resizing your hair clip arts. We will add the downloadable link in the description box below. For now, let's start on how to create and use this file, so you can understand and use this method for other clip arts. First, create a new file. This will be the output file for all clip arts of the same big category, like hairs or dog breeds. The size of this file depends on the original size of your clip arts. For example, if one of the hair clip arts has the size of 300 and 300 pixel, then this output file should have a bigger size, such as 500 pixel, to fit the size of all hairstyles. Also, if you sell small products such as mug, then it's recommended to set a size up to 500 pixel, regardless of the clip art size. Other settings like resolution, color mode, bit, should follow the settings of your original clip art. Okay, now let's click Create. In this new file, it's a must to remove the background layer, and leave it transparent. Now, drag a vertical guide from the ruler here, and add it to the center of the file, so we can have a center guideline. Before repositioning, we need a layer as a base to follow. In this example, we will reposition the hair clip arts, so let's put in here a body layer as base. The longest hairstyle that we have is mid-back, so we only need half of the body layer. Align it to center using the guide. You can use the arrow keys to move layer easier. Now, we place the first hair clip art and resize it to balance with the body. Usually, the width of the head is about 1/3 of the shoulder. Plus, the hair will make it a bit bigger. So we will resize it, this much. Then, move it to connect with the neck, and align center. After we have a balanced ratio of head and body, we should mark it with guidelines. Drag a vertical guideline from the ruler on top, and drop it to the top of the head. Add another guideline at the end of the head, and 2 other guidelines on the left and the right. Okay, after we finish the guidelines, let's hide this hair layer. It's time to reposition. We don't need to resize each clip art, we can do it per category. The first subcategory of the hairstyle is the bun. Select all clip arts in this folder, and drag them to Photoshop. Click the check mark over here, or press Enter, to add each clip art to file. Don't resize anything yet. Next, we should organize these clip arts into a group. Hold Shift key to select all clip art layers. Then, press Ctrl G, or Command G, to group them. Rename it as Bun. After that, we can transform this group, and it will apply to all clip arts in group. Select the group layer. On the top menu, click Edit, Free Transform, or press hotkey Ctrl T. Now, we can resize and reposition this whole group. We should place it within the area of the head that we marked, but it can be flexible, depending on the hairstyle. Use the base guidelines, and resize the group relatively. To preview easier, we can press the key combination Ctrl and semicolon, to turn the guidelines on, or off. Finishing this category, we can move to the next group, mid-back hair. Repeat the step above, drag and drop all clip arts to Photoshop, then press Enter. Group these clip arts as a new group, mid-back. For better preview, we can hide the previous group. Remember to click on the group, not the layer, then press Ctrl T to move the whole group. In here, this hairstyle is a little special, it has some hair hanging over the shoulder, so we should adjust it to fit with the shoulder, like this. For other categories, just follow the same steps. Group all clip arts, and reposition the group. We can see that the head of each group is still around the area we set. So, not only these groups balance with the body, but also share the same size and position with each other. This reposition method can apply to other types of clip art as well, such as dog breeds. We can place a dog as a base, then edit other breeds to a relative size. For example, we use this golden retriever as a base. Then, we will add other dog breeds to this file, such as this husky group, and resize them according to this dog base. The Husky breed has similar size as Golden Retriever, so we will scale it up. But, for smaller breeds, like this Chihuahua, it needs to be resized smaller. In real life, the Chihuahua is only around 1/3 size of the Golden Retriever. After finishing all categories, it's time to export them in correct size. We will export category one by one. So remember, for each export, we will turn on the visibility of one category only. And, don't forget to hide the body layer either. The output must be the overall size of this file, including the blank area. Normally, people use the Save As or Export As feature, but these features only export all layers as one file. To generate the correct size of these clip arts, in Photoshop, we need to use this feature, Layers to Files, to export each visible layer in correct size, and as separated files. In this pop-up, set a folder to contain the exported images, and a prefix for file name if necessary. There are 3 things we must pay attention in here. First, is to check the option Visible Layers Only. Second, the file type must be in PNG format. And last one, in the PNG exporting options, make sure to keep the transparency, and disable the trim layers. Then, click Run to start exporting. Wait until the process completes, it would take a while. Afterwards, we will have a brand new folder of clip arts in correct size and position. Repeat this export step with other categories. When done, we have new modified clip arts in separate folders, and they are now ready to be uploaded to TinBlue. Let's upload them now. We will name the new category as Edited, then upload the edited categories, one by one. After finishing, go to an artwork. Choose the layer we edited, to upload it as a default layer. Add personalization option. Select the hair edited category. Save, and check on storefront. We can see that the clip arts now show up perfectly, no need to reposition when creating an artwork anymore. However, there is one more thing we must be careful when creating an artwork. That is the original layer, which will be added personalization options in artwork. Usually, we create an artwork by uploading a Photoshop file, because it's faster to edit design in Photoshop, right? However, layers in Photoshop are usually trimmed, which cut off the blank area. That's why when uploading a Photoshop file to TinBlue, layers cannot keep the original size and ratio. Take this file as an example. We will place a hair clip art, which we have repositioned previously, to this Photoshop file. This clip art is square, and there is a blank area around the hair. Press Enter to edit. Now, hover the mouse to the clip art. We can see that Photoshop ignores the blank area, and only detects the hair inside the clip art as layer, which is in rectangle size. That is why, when we upload this Photoshop file to TinBlue, the square layer turns to rectangle. While the alternative clip arts, which we have resized in Photoshop, are in square size. As a result, the replacement will not be correct anymore. To resolve this problem, there are 2 solutions. The simple solution is to upload the original layer separately to TinBlue. If we upload an image directly, not through a PSD file, TNBlue can keep the original size and ratio. Enhance, we can still upload the PSD file. But for layers that will be added personalization, we need to upload layer individually. Such as this hair layer. We will remove this layer, which is imported from Photoshop, and upload a new one instead. So the hair layer can keep the blank area. The second solution is edit the layer in Photoshop and add pixels to fix 4 corners of the layer, because Photoshop will not cut off areas containing pixels. So first, use the place embedded to add your image. Your image will now become a smart object layer. Then, double-click on the layer to edit it. What we can do here is to create a small dot in each corner of the image. This will make Photoshop know that there are pixels in 4 corners, so it won't trim the blank area within these 4 pixels. We can use the brush tool here to add dots, reduce opacity, and brush size. Then click on each corner. The dot should be as hard to see as possible, because we don't want customers to see it. But Photoshop will still be able to detect these dots, and will not trim the layer anymore. Now, let's save this file. It will auto-update to the main Photoshop file here, because it's a smart object. It's hard to see, but there is a small dot here. So the layer is now detected in the original square size. After then, let's try uploading this Photoshop file to TNBlue. We can see that the original layer is now in correct size, no more trimmed. Also, all clip arts can replace it in the correct size and position, no need to use the reposition feature anymore. The dots on 4 corners are only available in the original layer. They does not include in the clip arts that customer selects, so no worries. This is how you can reposition your clip arts once and for all. Hope this video can help you, and see you again in our next videos.